Uh-oh. Remember at the end of Ernest Scared Stupid? When the old lady's walking around, she's like, it's not over. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. But everybody's like, yeah. And she's like, no, it's not over yet. And then that big troll comes out of nowhere. Boom. Big troll. It's not over yet. Horror movie recommendations for today, the first day of Dia de los Muertos. Okay? Now, I've been wanting to do this for a while, to acknowledge Dia de los Muertos and Mexican horror in general. So I figured this year, a part of horror movie recommendations, I would go ahead and do that. And it's going to be a little bit limited because there aren't as many Mexican horror movies on all the streaming services. So I'm just going to hit you with 2. But before we get into those 2, we're going to hit you with a little bit of history to understand the context of the 2 that we're giving you today. Now, Mexican horror is old. Old. You remember Bela Lugosi, right? And Dracula, Creatures of the Night, with music we make. You remember that one? Right? They made the exact same movie, scene for scene, shot for shot, on the same exact set, back-to-back production, in Spanish, for Mexican audiences, called Dracula, with a little, what is that, a little tilde on the end of the A, right? And it was the exact, 100% the exact same movie, the exact same shots, just instead of Bela Lugosi, it was some other dude. I can't remember his name, right? So Mexican horror is old. And the Conjuring universe came out with the Curse of La Llorona, the Crying Woman. Crying Woman goes back to like those times, 1930s, 1940s. They've made like 3-4 of them, right? Now, American horror and Mexican horror kind of started out about the same, right? They started out with myths and folklore. Dracula, Crying Woman, Phantom of the Opera type of stuff. And then something happened after the war, and there was a split, right? And in the late 1940s and the 1950s, America went to like atomic age horror, right? And it was all this first man into space and like Fear of a Red Planet and, what's the brain? What's the big brain? The brain thing from the beginning of Ernest Scared Stupid again. Arcturus, the killer brain, something like that. Anyways, so America went to this like atomic horror, space age type of situation, and Mexican horror went to this like guerrilla situation. And you might be saying to me, but what the fuck are you talking about? They went to like a guerrilla type situation. So, okay, so there's this movie. It's called El Monstruo Resucitado. Okay, I don't speak good Spanish. It's called The Revived Monster. And it's a Frankenstein movie, right? Bring a dead body back to life. But instead of bringing a man back to life, they bring back an ape monster. and then there's Ladrón de Cadáveres, aka the Body Snatchers. And that's a luchador horror, which we'll go into luchador horror tomorrow, right? But luchador is like a masked professional wrestler. That's a luchador horror. But this wrestler gets into an accident in the ring. The movie's called The Body Snatchers, okay? This wrestler gets into an accident in the ring, so they do a brain transplant with a gorilla. Okay? There's 2. And the third one, and the number 1 movie you need to watch tonight, right? If you have Amazon Prime, is Night of the Bloody Apes. And you might say to me, that's just too easy, bud. To say to me that, El Monstruo Resucitado and Ladrón de Cadáveres are about fucking ape gorillas, let me tell you what Night of the Bloody Apes is. First off, Night of the Bloody Apes is a video nasty, which means it was banned in England in 1984. So you need to get on Night of the Bloody Apes ASAP, because if those motherfuckers want to censor us, Streisand effect, we're just going to watch it. Night of the Bloody Apes is about this scientist, and his son has leukemia. Okay? So how is he going to cure his son's leukemia? He's going to do a heart transplant with a gorilla. Oh my God, my son has leukemia. Whatever should we do? Cut his heart out and put a gorilla's heart in his chest. So they cut his son's heart out. They put a gorilla's heart in his chest. He grows crazy facial hair to start looking like a gorilla. And he busts out of the fucking thing and just starts ripping fucking people the fuck apart. Now, if you're looking for something a little bit more modern to watch, because Night of the Bloody Apes is from the 70s, and it's a 70s super low budget foreign movie. So even the quality that you get on Amazon Prime is not going to be the greatest. It's going to be like VHS quality. But if you want to watch something a little bit more, modern, that also falls into this kind of like weird science theme, it's on Shudder. You can also rent it a bunch of places. It's called The Similars, aka Los Similares, and this one, it's filmed in black and white. It's from like 2017, maybe. Filmed in black and white, and it's about like this rainy, stormy, thunderstorming night. And there's all these people like trapped in this bus station. And there's this man with bandages on his face. And he takes the bandages off his face, and he's like this beardy, like, gentleman, right? And everybody in the bus station starts... They start turning into this man's face. Like, all their faces start turning into this man's face. And I don't just mean the other men, the women, the children. There's a baby. The guy who's working at the bus station has like naked ladies like on his wall in his office, right? Like they always do in the movies. And like their faces start turning into his fucking face. And everything goes really fucking sideways, because like the storm isn't really a storm. It's telekinetic energy caused by a child who's got super intelligence, and he's changing everybody's face into this guy's face. The Similars, Los Similares, on any of your VOD platforms or Shudder. But if you want to watch some legendary Mexican horror tonight, Amazon Prime is your deal. Night of the Bloody Apes, and you can see how a transplant of a heart with an ape cure leukemia or just make you into a nightmare person. Come back tomorrow. We got one more of these where we're going to focus on Mexican horror for the second and last day of Dia de los Muertos. And tomorrow we're going to get into luchador horror, because nothing says Mexican horror like a dude in a professional wrestling match in a wrestling ring fighting a witch. See ya.